Boru Aboye Aboshishe. This is the School of Orisa Studies, and I am your instructor, Obafemi Origuwa. Today, I am going to give you an overview, although it will be a little bit of a lengthy overview, of what I'm calling the Orisa Lifestyle Manifesto. And so, a manifesto is a manifesto is an explanation of one's beliefs. It's a way by which you can understand. It's about being transparent, so that you, as the student, as the seeker, can get a clear understanding of where I'm coming from, what my basic assumptions are, okay, what the values that I'm trying to make visible through my services and my goods, right? My classes, my one-on-one consultations, the books, and all the different things I do online, blog posts, social media, etc. All of these things are trying to give you an opportunity to see and understand my values, right? So the manifesto is giving you a blueprint in order for you to look at the outline and the foundation of my values, so you can understand what I'm talking about, what I'm aspiring to when I talk about my vision and my goals, and what I think is the most important set of activities and things for you to understand as a practitioner of Orisa lifestyle. So if you follow my work, I'm all about education. I'm all about training. For me, it's really important that you have proper training, and that's because of my own personal experience. I was exposed to the culture and the tradition in a very educational way. Okay, people made sure that I understood certain things, and I made sure that I understood certain things. I asked certain kinds of questions and organized my learning experience and my practical experience in a deliberate way. All right, and I found it very helpful, and so I want to share that with you, and I want to streamline your process and kind of help you bypass the pitfalls, because there are some things that you don't need to go through as a seeker, right? There are certain experiences that you don't need to have. If you're a parent and you experienced hunger, you know the value of food, the value of money, and all those kinds of things, but you're not gonna let your children starve and miss meals so they can have the same value for food. You're gonna teach that value in a different way. And so it is with Orisa lifestyle. I've walked the path, and I've had certain kinds of experiences, and some of them they've all shaped me into the priest and the teacher that I am today. But some of those experiences, I had them specifically so that you don't have to have them. All right. So this Orisa Lifestyle Manifesto that I'm going to share with you today, it is intended to help streamline your process and remove some of the obstacles and limitations that I know you don't have to have. All right. So I'm going to go through them, and I hope you find it very helpful. I look forward to opening up a conversation with you, and we can dialogue more about each of these 10 steps. But I think you're going to find it very helpful and very useful. So far, I've gotten some very good feedback on them, and so I'm just going to use this media, video, to share it, because I've already shared it in print on other platforms. So this what you need to know as a seeker at any level of your practice. Number one, you are not your Orisha. You are not your Orisha. You are not Shango or Batala or Rumila or Shun. You're not. And you're not going to become your Orisha. No amount of sacrifice, no amount of medicine, no amount of initiations, none of that. Nothing is going to transform you from being who you are into being your Orisha. Very important for you to know. Right? Now, there are other traditions. I know, for example, in the Hindu tradition, there are different branches of their practice, of their religion, if you will, wherein the person does aspire to become their deity. They have other aspects of their tradition where the person cares for his deity or her deity like a child, right? And this is not in a belittling way. It means that they care for them with the kind of the care that you give to a child. They have other aspects where you relate to your deity as your lover, right? You have a love, a romantic, heartfelt love for your deity, so on and so on. There are a lot of different approaches, but those are not Yoruba concepts. Those are Hindu concepts. So I make this distinction that you're not your Orisha because people are coming from different backgrounds. I find that that then they're talking about Orisha from the perspective of other traditions, and they may or may not know where they got that kind of an inclination. But I want to say, from a Yoruba perspective, what you need to know is that you are not going to become your Orisha, which is why we have people. For example, my name is Obafemi. Obafemi, the king loves me. In this instance, it is Obatala who's the king in question, right? All Yoruba names are like that. Shongo, Bemi, Ifa, Fumi, whatever. We say what the Orisha has done for me, how the Orisha has influenced my destiny. But we don't have the belief that I'm going to be Shongo. You're not going to just call me Shongo. You're not going to just call me Ogun. You're going to say how Ogun influences my journey, how Shongo influences my journey. It's a very important distinction. You are not your Orisha, and you will not become your Orisha. All right. Number 2, Orisha does not govern Ori. This is a concept that I'm most familiar with it from the Afro-Cuban perspective. They say, like, who owns your head? Okay, who governs your head? And if you practice the Afro-Cuban tradition, that's something you have to reconcile with them. From the Yoruba perspective, this is erroneous. We don't have that belief. Orisha does not govern Ori. Orisha does not govern Ori. Orisha supports Ori, right? Orisha guides Ori. Orisha amplifies Ori. We have a concept of Akunlegba. Akunlegba is that which you accept while kneeling. Akunlegba, that which one kneels to accept, right? And this is a gesture. You'll see a lot of carvings and stuff. A lot of Irofa, the ephod tapper. You'll see there's like a woman nude kneeling with her, maybe her hands outstretched, or she's holding something. That's a symbol of Akunlegba, right? This is what Orisha gives to you after you've chosen your destiny. This is how Orisha amplifies your destiny after Ori has chosen it. But Orisha does not govern Ori. Ori governs Orisha, and Orisha supports Ori. Okay? When an initiate dies, they remove the Orisha. They don't remove the Ori. Right? That's a ritual, practical thing that you can talk to your Oluo, your Ojubona, whoever your teachers are. And this is true of every tradition that I know of. There are funerary rites that make it very clear. When the person dies, when a devotee, an initiate dies, they remove the Orisha. But no one removes Ori. Ori is the only one that comes to the world with you and goes back to the heavenly realm with you as well. Orisha does not. All right. And finally, every Orisha venerates Ori. You're not going to find any Orisha who does not venerate and serve his or her Ori. Ori is supreme. Okay? Ori is supreme. Ori governs Orisha. Orisha does not govern Ori. Very important that you understand that. It's not about a power battle. There's no power battle in question. Ori is supreme. Even Orisha venerates its own Ori. So it's pretty simple. Number 3, Ori chooses destiny. I mentioned that just now. When the soul is making its journey from the heavenly realm to the earthly realm, it is Ori that chooses destiny. Okay? That is what we call Akunleyan. That is Akunleyan. As I mentioned earlier, you have this image of a kneeling woman with her hands outstretched. Akunleyan. That is what one kneels to choose. You choose your destiny. You choose to be born. You choose who your parents are going to be. You choose all of the major elements that are going to make up your life. That is what Ori does. Ori is the chooser of destiny. Ori is the observer of destiny. Okay? So in that, the important thing for you to understand is that you are the chooser. That's your deepest, truest self and your greatest power. You choose, and everything that you choose, Akun Leyang, which represents your prenatal choice, everything that is a part of your Akun Leyang is supported by everything else. That's the basis for everything else that you do. Akun Leyang. That's the most important element. What you have chosen in the prenatal state. Okay? So everything that you choose after you're born is either going to support your prenatal choice or it's going to diminish your prenatal choice. And that is the secret to your power. We can stop right there. We can stop right there. Every single choice that you make, you got to calculate and you got to understand very clearly, is this going to improve or amplify or support my prenatal choice, or is it going to work against my prenatal choice? That's the real question that you're asking yourself over and over and over and over. Not who is my Orisha and all these other things. These are distractions. These are distractions. Okay? They only matter to the extent that you know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that they're going to support your prenatal choice. Because if you're not doing that, you're not doing anything. All right? Number 4, identity is destiny. Key. Identity is destiny. Identity is what I call the seed consciousness. And I use the analogy over and over again that it's like the apple seed or the orange seed. The seed is everything. It's the whole tree. Every piece of fruit that's going to come out of that tree. Entire orchards that are going to grow out and descend from that tree. They begin with the seed. That's who you are. You got to get down to what kind of a seed you are, right? Because that's going to determine where you're going. It's also going to determine where you're coming from. Because if you're an apple seed, guess what? Your mama was an apple seed and your daddy was an apple seed too. Your children, your grandchildren, apple seeds. So the more clear you are about what your true identity is, again, the easier it's going to be for you to appreciate and understand all these other elements and aspects, all right, of the practice. The seed only has one objective: expand, grow, proliferate. That's it. Okay? So once you know who you are, then you're going to understand what the best environment is to help you to grow and expand and proliferate. Number 5, just like you're not your Orisha, you are not your Odu. You are not your Odu. My own Odu is my Odu, and I love that, I know my Odu, and I've seen it being very beautiful for other people to know their Odu. But you got to know, you are not your Odu. You're not. Your Odu is your fate. So if your seed consciousness is an apple seed, fate is the fact that you were not planted for 20 years. You were kept in a dry place for 20 years, and then you were planted somewhere. And, you were planted in a good, wet soil, and you were able to grow, but it was a very high place, and so the tree only could grow a certain height, because of the altitude. And, what I mean? Those are the conditions. The fate are the conditions that have to, be reckoned with. These are the things that you can't escape. That's fate. You got to experience certain things. A seed, if no matter where it's planted, it goes through certain, germination process, right? It's going to sprout, and it's going to grow, and it's going to go through all these different phases of development. That's fate. You can't escape those things. Your Odu is going to tell you the conditions, right, in your environment that you must encounter in order for you to transform and to realize your destiny. All right? And your fate is not your destiny, right? Your fate is the conditions that create or facilitate your destiny. Number 6, ephod does not tell you your destiny. A lot of my colleagues, kind of buckle at that, but once they really slow down to what I'm saying, everyone agrees. Ephod doesn't tell you your destiny. Ephod tells you your fate for the reasons that I just gave before. Ephod tells you your fate. Ephod's going to tell you, what's going to have to happen. But ephod is not going to tell you who you are in that happening. You got to remember that. You got to claim that. You got to make a billion choices and decisions, okay, that will help you get closer and closer and closer to who you are. The more consistent you are about your decision making, the closer you get to your prenatal choice. Okay? The closer you're going to get to your prenatal choice. And ephod will help you, along the way. It's kind of like, I don't know, like a train track. It's like a train track in a way. It's as you start to go off, you run against that track and it's going to guide you. But it's not the train. Okay, so I hope the analogies are helpful, right? The ephod is like the track that the train is traveling on, but the ephod is not telling you what kind of train is on the track. Ephod is not telling you who is in the train, right? Ephod is not telling you how you feel while you're inside the train, right? Those are all the things that you have to get into within yourself. This is the internal work, y'all. What I'm trying to, get around to. I think you may be getting the gist of this. The real journey is internal. You've got to get into the internal work to see yourself and claim yourself and be comfortable with sitting within the authority of your own destiny. It's not something that somebody else can give to you or tell you. That's not the role of ephod. Ephod is going to give you the track that you're going to have to travel and all the stations you're going to go through if we stay with the train analogy. All right? So, ephod will tell you your fate. Number 7. Now, what does ephod say about the collective identity, if you will? Ephod says that we're all Enion. Ephod says we're all Enion. Enion means human being. And Enion is a fourfold being. The Enion is Ori, the seat of destiny, the head. Ori is Emmi, the breath of life that Olodumare breathes us. Enion is Okan, the heart. And the heart is not really sentimentality, but is more sympathetic resonance. It's a vibration. Okay, so the heart here is like a vibration. Right? Are you in what you're in harmony with? Okay, is your Oka, and then the Ara, which is the body, which is all the physical body. Right. So all those other aspects were a little bit more metaphysical. The Ori, the Emmi, right? The destiny, the voice, the heart. Those are a little bit abstract. Ara is where you come to the physical being, your physical experience, because you cannot have any spiritual reality outside of your physical experience. That's a very key thing. I know a lot of people want to escape from the body, and we want to these are other concepts. These are these are like Hindu concepts. You're trying to get away from the body. That's not our tradition. Our tradition is very highly reliant upon the body. The body is important. We cherish the body. We adore the body, right? Because we understand that the body is the vehicle to the spiritual reality. You're going to see, you're going to smell, you're going to taste, you're going to hear, you're going to feel these things that'll give you a window and a gateway into a higher reality. The body is important, okay? That's why it's one of the 4 elements of Enion. Ephod says we are Enion, okay? And so Ephod says, number 8, that the fate of Enion is to help to bring about the good condition. This is one of the most important realizations that you're going to come to, because no matter what your Odu is, no matter what Orisha you serve, no matter what tradition you practice, if you're in this tradition, then you accept that we are Enion, and as such, we have a single mission, which is to help bring about the good condition. And the good condition is basically the elimination of suffering, ignorance, poverty, and all of the limitations that would prevent us from having a completely divine experience, and is characterized as the balancing of heaven and earth. All right, so that's how you make decisions. Also, okay, when you figure maybe you're not so clear about your prenatal choice, right? Obviously, but you can at least look at what the elements of the good condition are, and you can make a decision and say, well, every decision is either helping to bring about the good condition or it's not helping to bring about the good condition. Right? That's a framework for decision making. All right. Am I helping to bring about the good condition or not? And if I say I am, then I should be able to make some logical steps to say that from point A to point Z, this is how what I'm doing is going to help us to arrive at the good condition. All right. Number 9, personal priesthood is the unique way in which you can make a meaningful contribution to bringing about the good condition. So that alludes back to this decision-making process. Your personal priesthood is the way that you bring your natural gifts and talents into focus in order to help bring about the good condition. Okay, this is again, it transcends your odu, it transcends your Orisa, it transcends your tradition. It says that your soul is here to become a part of something bigger, and in order to do so, you've got to bring all of your resources to focus on this one objective, which is to improve life for yourself and those who you're destined to serve. Okay. And last but not least, number 10, personal priesthood is a 3-part practice. Okay, so when I talk about personal priesthood, I'm talking about number 1, what are your natural gifts and talents? What do you bring to the table? That's going to be a super big key for helping you to realize your prenatal choice. There are certain things that you know. There are certain things that you can do. There are certain things that you're drawn to and that you have you just have an ability to do without people instructing you. You're drawn to them without people having to coax you into it and coerce you. You just are into something, and you can do it for hours and days without any kind of encouragement or coercion from other people or from the outside. You just got it. That's key. 9 times out of 10, that's going to fall into your natural gifts and talents. That's what you chose from the heavenly realm. Now, it could be something that you've practiced. Maybe if you started some sort of a practice, martial art or music or something like that from an early age, you may have some things that are like neck and neck with your natural gifts and talents because you've spent many years practicing them. They count too, right? They count too. But then there's some other things that are natural that no one has had to teach you. Number 2, your daily discipline is what helps you to cultivate and perfect those natural gifts and talents. That's the second aspect of personal priesthood. You got to put in the time and the effort to bring your skills to a higher and higher and higher and higher and higher level every day, little by little, small acts that have a big impact on improving your skill and your ability to deliver an increasingly better level of service or product. And last but not least is sacred service. Sacred service is where that's where the rubber hits the road. This is where you determine what people and or what cause that you want to give yourself to. All right? When you know your natural gifts, and maybe you're an artist and you practice your art, all day, every day, and you're excellent at what you do. And now you say, I'm going to paint, I'm going to paint scenes of African liberation from around the world. That's my service. That's my sacred service. And so I go around and I research all the different maroon rebellions and independence efforts across Africa and the great freedom fighters, from time immemorial, and I render them in painting, right? That's your personal priesthood, and it could be something radically different. I just chose that randomly, but it's up to you to accept the mission. Usually, you're gonna know the mission, the people or the cause that you're destined to serve, because they're gonna find you. They're gonna seek you out, even when you're trying to hide yourself. They're gonna identify you. They're gonna say, "You have what I need. Please help me with this." I don't want to do that. I'm not into that. I'm not a big shot. I don't know anything. I'm not. No. I just know that you can help me, please. And over again, you're going to find yourself at the service of a certain group of people or serving a certain kind of a cause. Okay? That's your sacred service. Accept it. Take it on. Be responsible for doing your part in that area. Okay? And that's how your sacred service is going to elevate and get deeper. And so those 10 points are the framework for the Orisa Lifestyle Manifesto. If you can internalize those 10 points, if you can continue to seek deeper levels of understanding and guidance around those 10 points, I guarantee you're going to save money. You're not going to be out buying a bunch of things. You're not going to have people selling you beads and pods and titles and stuff like that. You're not going to do that. You're not going to feel burnt, like somebody took advantage of you. You're going to avoid all this resentment and hatred that people have within the tradition. You're going to bypass all that because you're going to be minding your own business, and you're going to be so busy, so consumed with doing the things that you truly love. You're going to be so excited and pumped up about being in harmony with your purpose. You're going to be repelling all kinds of negativity and all kinds of chaos and all kinds of nonsense, right? And it won't even be a part of your world. I promise you. I guarantee you, if you can internalize these 10 points, I guarantee you will be a better person and a better practitioner, and your journey will be so much easier and so much sweeter and so much happier. All right. So if you don't believe me, test it. Test it. All right. Give yourself a year to really dig into these 10 points and really challenge yourself to master these 10 points in the manifesto. And tell me, this time next year, if your life is not better, if your practice is not sweeter, okay? If your heart is not more joyful after a whole year of internalizing these 10 principles, I would like to know that. It won't happen. I guarantee you, I know it will not happen. Because this is not something that I'm just, coming up with. This is what I've cultivated over years of coaching people, years of working with people, years of observing different people. Okay? And so, of course, if you would like some help with getting a better understanding of these 10 points, I absolutely invite you to enroll in any one of the courses that I offer. I've got long courses, I've got short courses, I've got a series of books. I've written 9 books to the subject. All of the material that I have converges on these 10 points. Everything that I have done can be related back to these 10 points. Everything. All right. All of my work is based on these 10 points of the Orisa Lifestyle Manifesto. And so I'm absolutely certain that what I'm saying is going to give you the kind of results that you're truly looking for. So happy New Year. Happy new season. Happy new life. I wish you the best. I'm very confident that however you proceed going forward, that the divinities will continue to guide you, the ancestors will continue to comfort you, and Olodumare will continue to confer upon all of your efforts success and progress and joy. Aboraboye. Aboshishem.